Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please respond to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Guys, please respond to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. Good morning, guys. Okay. Now check it what we completed there in the last session. So I think so we are discussing about the differences between Java and others. Almost all we are coming to the end. Let's observe carefully. So last class what we completed there, last class topic, if you understand it, the points are very clear. So multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. This point here we have discussed there. Now the point is, if any programming language is able to represent the data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then that programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. There are 7 numbers of object-oriented features. What are the various object-oriented features we are having? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, then message passing. Here we record inheritance. Why? Because we are going to deal with the multiple inheritance. So here we are talking about inheritance. It's a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. In inheritance, the class which is providing variables and methods to some other classes is called a superclass or a parent class or a base class. In inheritance, the class which is getting variables and methods from a superclass is called a subclass or child class or a derived class. So even though we are having these many terminologies, but the official terminology in Java is what there, superclass and a subclass. Fine. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances, Kirno? Single inheritance, and second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. On the basis of the about two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances here we are having. What are the three more inheritances here? Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. There are three types of inheritances here we are having. Single inheritance. It's the relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more subclasses. All of you understand it clearly? It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does support single inheritance. Java does support single inheritance. Right. What about this multiple inheritance? Right. Diagrammatically, if you want to observe this, this is the first one is what there? Single inheritance. only one superclass is available, but number of subclasses are depends. One or more number of subclasses here we can take. But here in this example, I've taken only one subclass. Okay, fine. Next one is multiple inheritance. It's a relation between classes which will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. In the case of multiple inheritance, okay, now here I'm giving the reason now why multiple inheritance is not supported by Java. In the case of multiple inheritance, if we declare the same variable with the different values, and if we declare the same method with a different implementation in both the superclasses, and if we access that variable and method in any subclass, then which superclass variable and which superclass method will come to the respective subclass is a confusion stage. So multiple inheritance is providing confusion to the compiler, JVM and developer. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion oriented features like what their multiple inheritance. Because of this reason, multiple inheritance is not possible in the case of Java programming language. Diagrammatically I've given this is normal case only, but this is a confusion case. Now inside this class A and class B, variables are very same. Int I is equal to 10, int I is equal to 20. Void M1 method, X implementation, void M1 method, Y implementation. In a class C, I is equal to I plus 10. I is equal to I plus 10 in the sense like what there, I value is 10. I is equal to 10 plus 10, 20. Right, if you take I values from like what the class B, I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 20 plus 10, then it might be like what there, 30. What is that? Is it 20 or 30? M1, if you access from superclass, no, from class A superclass there, X implementation, is it X implementation? And M1 method is coming from class B superclass, their Y implementation is available, is it Y implementation? It's totally a confusion stage. From which superclass, variable and a method both are available to the respective subclass is a confusion state now. All right, to overcome this problem, to avoid this confusion state, Java has totally removed multiple inheritance. Because of removing this multiple inheritance from Java application, even some possible cases, even some right cases are available with multiple inheritance, even they're also be not available in the case of Java. Right, sir. Java is able to restrict the multiple inheritance by defining extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in a subclass declaration. In a subclass declaration, examples are given there. Class A extends B valid. Class A extends B comma C. This is what they're invalid. Class A extends B valid. Class A extends B comma C. This is what they're invalid. Okay. Now by this, the total multiple inheritance part is completed. Yesterday I given information about like what, how Python is able to maintain multiple inheritance. That part already we discussed there. Leave this part here. Now coming to the new point today, destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. Understand it? What is the purpose of these destructors? What is the need of it? First understand this point clearly. I think yesterday I given some explanation for it. Now understand it this point clearly. In object-oriented programming languages, it is a convention to represent data in the form of objects. In object-oriented programming languages, it's a convention to represent data in the form of objects. It's a minimum convention to represent data in the form of objects. All of you observe carefully. In the object-oriented programming languages, to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create the objects. And at the end of the program, at the end of the application, we have to destroy the objects. That means two operations here I'm saying there. If you want to represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create the objects. At the end of the program, at least, we have to destroy the objects. Good. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use constructors, and to destroy objects, we will use destructors. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use constructors, and to destroy objects, we will use destructors. Two things are available: constructors, and next one is what? There, destructors. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use constructors, and to destroy objects, we will use what? There, destructors. All right, this is the exact requirement of the constructor and destructor. Good. All of you observe carefully. Right, so the point is like what there in understand the point here. In a C++, developers are responsible for creating objects and destroying objects. Technology is not giving any support for the developers, where developers must take the responsibility of creating objects. Developers must take the responsibility of destroying the objects. That is mandatory for the developers. So to destroy objects, in a C++, developers must use destructors feature. This is mandatory. To destroy the objects, developers must use destructors feature. But in the case of Java, what happened? Direct information I'm telling you. In Java, developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are responsible for creating objects only. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Why? Because Java has provided an internal component to destroy objects. Java has provided an inbuilt component internally, inbuilt component to destroy the objects automatically. An inbuilt component is available to destroy the objects internally, automatically. That component is what? There, garbage collector. That component is what? There, garbage collector. Everybody put more concentration. Simple point. In a C++, garbage collector is not available. And developers must destroy the objects. To destroy the objects, developers must use destructors feature. In the case of Java, garbage collector is available. Garbage collector will take the responsibility of destroying the objects, where a developer is not required to destroy the objects. Once a developer is not required to destroy the objects, automatically developers are not required to use destructors. So destructors are not required in the case of what? Java. Everybody put more concentration here, what I'm telling you. So final conclusion is what? There, destructors are not required in Java due to the garbage collector. Destructors are not required in Java due to the garbage collector, but destructors are required in C++ due to the unavailability of the garbage collector. So only garbage collector is a difference. Because of that reason only, we are saying the conclusion like what there. C++ does require, C++ must have destructors, but whereas Java does not require what there destructors. That's it. Only the difference is what there garbage collected. Understand? No? Say for example, one simple example I'm telling to you. Try to understand it clearly. If you go to any restaurant, for example, restaurant, if you go there, so self-service restaurants are available. So for breakfast, for example, we'll go there. We will take our required food items. We might be given order. Might be then people are prepared that food item. Then we have to get that food item. We have to take that food item. When we have taken that food item, definitely some wastage is going to be created. Some garbage will be generated. Am I right or not? All right. Where exactly the point is what? If the restaurant has given a notice, whatever the garbage you have generated here, you should take the responsibility of clean up that garbage. The restaurant will not take the responsibility of it. You should take the responsibility of clean up the wastage. You have to take that wastage and you have to throw that wastage in the dustbin. That you should take the responsibility. Point number one. This is case number one. Again, at the same time, case number two, what I am telling to you, in the same restaurant, they are given a notice. What is that notice there? You can create the garbage, no issues. But restaurant people will take the responsibility of cleaning up that garbage. You should not take any responsibility. Our people will collect your garbage. They will keep that garbage in the dustbins. This is second case now. In the point of customers, which case is good, better case is a good case where customers are satisfied for the restaurant services. No, in the second case only. Obviously, the second case. Why? Because customers don't like to clean up the garbage. Why? Because they are in a different works, right? So they are ready already to go for their work. But in that moment, then cleaning in the sense, who will take the responsibility? No, not possible. So restaurant people has to take the responsibility. So case number one is a failure case. Case number two is a successful case. Case number two is a C++. Case number two is what there. Sorry, case number one is C++. Case number two is what there Java. Where good maintenance is available from the technology. Where memory maintenance is very good in the form of technology from the technologies. C++ is not providing good memory management system, but Java is providing what there good memory management system. In the case of C++, everything the developer has to do. But in the case of Java, object to destruction responsibility must be taken care by our respective Java programming language, not to the customer. Customer or user not required to take any responsibility of clean up the garbage. But in the case of C++, developer must take the responsibility of the clean up the garbage. That's the problem here. Understand my point? So Java memory management system is very good when compared with all other programming languages. Yes, sir. All if you're following or not, what is the point here I'm telling you? That's okay, fine. All right, sir. Then it's okay. So this is hello. What happened? Yeah, go outside. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the point here. This is a story about like what the destructors feature here we can identify. Destructors are required in C++, but the destructors are not required in Java. Right, sir. Fine. Then after that, after completion of this particular one here, what next one here I'm discussing with you. So this point is okay, completed. Now the second, next one here, seventh point. All of you observe carefully. The seventh point here, what I'm telling to you. Listen carefully. C and C++ or else, okay, C and C++ are following call by value, call by reference, parameter passing mechanism. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanism. But Java is following only call by value parameter passing mechanism. That's it. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanism, but Java is following only call by value parameter passing mechanism. Is it clear? Right. Now understand the point here, what I am giving there. First of all, what is call by value and what is call by reference? First, we'll understand that. After that, we will go then how C and C++ are following both and why Java is following only and one call by value parameter passing mechanism. First of all, we will understand both. What are these call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanism? All right, sir. Now understand it clearly. In all the programming languages, not only in the case of Java, not only in the case of C, C++, in all the programming languages, if we pass primitive data, what is that primitive data? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. All these data types are what they're primitive data types. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. These are like what they're primitive data types. If we pass primitive data types, primitive data as a parameter to the methods or functions. In the case of C, C++ functions. In the case of Java, methods. But almost our content is very same, but the names are different. In a C, C++, function is a set of instructions to represent a particular task. In the case of Java, method is a set of instructions to represent a particular task. In method or in maybe function, whatever it may be, if we pass primitive data, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char as a parameter to the methods, or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value. It may be C programming language, it may be C++, or it may be Java. In all programming languages, if we pass primitive data as a parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value. Similarly, what is the meaning of call by reference? If you observe this call by reference point of observe carefully. In all programming languages, if we pass address locations, what is that? Address locations, not a normal data, address locations of the data. If we pass address locations as parameters to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by reference. Then the parameter passing mechanism is what they call by reference. In all programming languages, if we pass address locations as parameters to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by reference. It's exactly like what they call by reference. Is it? All of you are getting it or not? What's the meaning of call by value and call by reference? Simple points on. Now coming to the C and C++. You know already pointer variable. What is a pointer variable? It is able to represent or it is able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a normal variable or an array, or maybe a struct, or maybe another pointer variable. Understood this point now? Same point. In a C and C++ applications, if we pass pointer variables as parameters to the methods or functions, In a C and C++, if you pass pointer variables as parameters to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by reference. And the parameter passing mechanism is what there? Call by reference. Why? Because in a C and C++, pointer variables are representing address locations of the data. Pointer variables are representing what? Address locations of the data. Right. Due to that reason, in C and C++, call by reference is available. At the same time, call by value is available as per this particular point. Call by value is common in every programming language. This is minimum. But call by reference is a specification. In some programming languages, it is available. In some other programming languages, it is not available. Got or not? In a C and C++, call by values by default, call by reference is possible. Why? Because when we pass pointer variables as parameters to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is what they call by reference. Why? Because in C and C++, pointer variables are representing what? Address locations. Passing pointer variables as parameters in the sense, passing address locations as what their parameters to the methods. So this is exactly the meaning of like what they pointer, that means call by reference in the case of what the C and C++. Now similarly, in the case of Java, what is going on? Previously, I given some comparison between pointer variables and reference variables. Equivalent concept in Java is what the reference variable. What is reference variable? Already we have discussion on it. What is reference variable? Come on, reference variable is a variable. It is able to store object reference value. What is that object reference value? Hexadecimal form of the hash code. Hexadecimal form of the hash code. What is an hash code? Hash code is an integer value provided by heap manager for each and every object as an unique identity. Sir, got or not? Hash code is not address location. A reference value is not address location. A reference variable is not storing any address location. So if you pass reference variable as parameter to any method or function, then the parameter passing mechanism is not call by reference. It is still what? Call by value only. Understand my point? Here the difference between pointer and reference variable, if you know, this point is nothing. Very simple point, what I am discussing now. But only the point is what there? Pointer variable and reference variable. Pointer is referring address location. Right? Reference variable is referring object reference value. Pointer is storing address location, but reference variable is storing what there? Like a reference value of the object. Reference value of the object is not what there? Address location. Pointer variable is having what there? Address location. Passing pointer variable as parameter to the method is a call by reference. But if you pass reference variable as parameter to the method, then it is not call by reference. It is what there? Call by value only. That's the point here we need to highlight. In a C and C++ applications, if you pass pointer variables as parameters to the methods or functions, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by reference. Why? Because in C and C++, pointer variables are representing address locations of the data. That's it. Next one is in Java. In Java applications, if we pass reference variable as parameter to the methods or functions. Of course, in the case of Java, no functions, only methods. That's why I want to remove these functions here. If you pass reference variable as a parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value only. Is call by value only, not call by reference. Not what there? Call by reference. It is only what there? Call by value only. Right, sir? Now understand it clearly. In Java applications, if you pass reference variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value only, not call by reference. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Right, sir. Now This is a clear-cut information here. We have to identify now about this call by value and call by reference point here. It's okay. Why? Because now here we need to understand that reason also. Why? Because in Java, also carefully, in Java, a reference variable is able to store object reference value. Is able to store what there? Object reference value. Where the object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code. Is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Okay, where the hash code is an unique identity. Where hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. Where the hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. That's it. Now this is clearly the point here what I'm telling there. In Java applications, if we pass reference variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is call by value only, not call by reference. Why? Because in Java, a reference variable is able to store object reference value, where the object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where the hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. So clear or not? That's okay. This is another point here we understood clearly. This is about like what they call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms. But practically is not required here. No? Just we are comparing Java with other programming languages. High level comparison, just features wise comparison, basic reasons only here we have to understand. But practically if you want to see that, first of all, I need to execute that C program now. Not required to understand about C complete programming language here. Up to how much is required, up to that I will discuss inside the classes only. That's okay, fine. Next one is after that another point here like what there, eighth difference, try to understand it clearly. Eighth difference, all of you observe carefully. Eighth point here, operator overloading is not possible in Java. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Of course it is possible in Python. It's available in the case of Python, but in the Java it is not possible. Okay, right. Now understand it. First of all, what is an operator overloading? What is the meaning of this operator overloading? Why it is not possible in the case of Java? That points here we have to understand. Alright, sir. Previously, in the case of inheritance, I given some introductory part. Alright, now see this one here. What points can we understood there? Object-oriented programming language and object-oriented features that we understood there in the last class previously. The same points can I required. Tell me, all of you now tell me, if any programming language is able to represent the data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features, then the programming language is called an object-oriented programming language. Clear to all of you? Right. How many number of object-oriented features are available? How many number of object-oriented features are available? 7 number of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? Class, object, then what next one? Encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, then what next one here? Message passing. This message passing is like what there is a almost all people are neglecting this message passing. They're not going to be included there, but then is one of the object-oriented feature that we are going to understand. Don't worry for it. In object orientation, I will talk about each and every feature effectively. But as for the requirement only, I'm taking that features, no. But actually, these features, explanation, and everything, we are able to get in Whoops. Whoops concepts is available there. We are going to see the content. Okay, right. Now, understand it clearly. Now, as per this operator overloading topic, if you want to discuss there, first of all, I have to discuss about like what their polymorphism. First of all, here I need to discuss about what their polymorphism. In the case of multiple inheritance. We have taken inheritance topic because of multiple inheritance. Now we are going to take what is polymorphism. Why? Because operator overloading is a part of the polymorphism. So first of all, we have to understand what is polymorphism. What is the meaning of polymorphism? Observe carefully. If one thing exists, if one thing exists in more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. If one thing exists in more than one form, then it is called as what there? Polymorphism. Number of examples are available in outside. Number of examples are available in outside. No need to go for any other example. You are the best example. You are the best example. Right, sir? Simple conversation, simple points I'm telling you. Try to recognize this. You are the person. You are the student at Durgasoft. Am I right? Any doubt? But people are having question mark now. Fine. All right, sir. You are the student of Durgasoft. So student is one appearance for you. If you go to your home, you are a son to your parents. Second appearance. If you have any siblings, you are a brother to the sister or maybe to the brother. It's okay. You are the brother, right? Or maybe sister, wherever it may be. Of course, if you are married, you are a good husband to your wife. I think all of you are married, right? No? Not yet. Not interested? Okay, fine. It's okay. All right, sir. Like this, if you are working with somewhere else, you are a good employee in a company. But person is single, the same person, how many forms are available for this person? Multiple forms are available, not like single form. Multiple forms are available. So this multiple appearances for any one single person, this representation, these appearances is called as polymorphism. Polymorphism. Basically, polymorphism is a Greek word. Polymorphism is a Greek word where poly means many and morphism means forms or structures. Polymorphism is a Greek word where poly means many and morphism means structures. If one thing exists in more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. So like this, I can give you a number of examples. The best example, so long time back, Kamal Hassan has made a movie. The Shavatar is a movie. The single person, how many characters he played in that movie? 10 characters he played there. Is the best example for polymorphism. Understand it clearly? All right, sir. Then what is the advantage of this polymorphism? If one thing is available in multiple forms, users can use either of this form. If one thing is available in only one form, users are not having flexibility to use that. With or without the interest, or by force or without the force, you must use the same form. If one thing is available in one form. But if one thing is available in multiple forms, users can select either of. The best example I'm telling to you. Think of it. In Durgasoft, listen careful. In Durgasoft, if only one faculty is available for core Java, do you have any flexibility for it? You may attend the person's demo class. If you're interested, it's okay. Then you may join with him. But if you're not interested, do you have any alternative in Durgasoft? If only one faculty is available for core Java, no alternative. There automatically no flexibility is available for you. So with or without interest, you must join with that class only. Why? Because your parents have given information to you. You must join at Durgasoft only. That's a condition for it. But in Durgasoft, what happened? Only one faculty for core Java. You must join with that faculty with or without the interest. For example, in the same Durgasoft, if multiple faculties are available for core Java, 5 faculty members are available for core Java, they are running their individual batches, for example. Then as a student, what is your flexibility here? First, you will go to faculty 1 demo class. If you're interested, you may join with him. If you're not interested, second trainer demo class, third person's demo class, fourth person demo class, fifth trainer demo class. By checking all the demo classes now, you may identify which faculty is good, and we may join with the respective faculty. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or not? Right. In Durgasoft might be one faculty, myself is not the faculty. So many faculties are available there. For Korja might be some other Bangladesh sir is also be taking the classes there. Understand it here. But example I'm taking the sense not about myself here. I'm giving clarity. In Durgasoft, as of now, nearly 150 faculty members are available in both offline and online as well as. In offline, maybe 2 members are teaching the Java, but maximum Java myself I'm taking the responsibility. But in online, almost all few members are available. Almost all number of faculties are available for Java. Understand it here. Durgasoft almost all 150 plus number of trainers are available in different technologies. In Python, almost all 4 or 5 members are taking the classes. In Spring Boot microservices in online, almost all 5 or 6 members are taking the classes. In a DevOps, 4 or 5 faculty members are taking the classes. But unfortunate thing is what there, I'm giving clarity. When it comes to the offline, after the pandemic situation, when we consult any faculty member come to offline and take classes at offline, even a single faculty is also not showing interest to come for offline classes. Real, I'm telling you. The situation, exact situation I'm telling there. Yes, Durgasoft is a branded organization. We are searching for faculties still for Java. We are requesting the topmost faculties in market. Come and take offline classes. No, they're not at all interested to take offline classes. What we have to do? That's why, because of that reason, I have taken the total responsibility of the Java. The total, top to bottom, complete end-to-end responsibility I have taken because of this reason only. Then at one side, it's a burdenful thing even for me. But still, I can manage it. Why? Because I had clear-cut scheduling for it. So I can manage it now. But the point is what there? Nobody is interested to take the classes in offline. Why? Any reason for it? Online classes are not much suitable for the students. Online classes are not much suitable for the students. If no alternative, then only they will go for what their online classes. If it is possible to come for the offline classes, I strongly recommend it for the people to come for offline classes. Why? Because in offline classes, reachability is more, content understanding is more when compared with online. In offline, you're all under my control. You will not have any discussions along with you. But in online, you're not in my control. Definitely, you are in some other person control there. If you're at home, you're in under your wife control, right? Understand it? So you're trying to start the class, but what she will do? No, Arey yaar, onions are completed. Please get some onions there. 1 kg of onions on outside. He has to go outside and get the onions. No, that's the problem. So that's the point, Kev. So those who are married, I strongly recommend it for you. Come for offline classes now. You'll understand in the future. Don't worry for it. Why I'm telling these points now. Right, sir. The point is what there. The situation at present in outside is what there. Still, people are not coming outside of the online mode. Still, people are preferring what their online class only. Yeah, exactly. At the faculty's point of view, what I'm telling there. Students' point of view, offline class are good, but faculty's point of view, online class are good. Why? Because no need to come to the institute. Half an hour traveling, waste of time, right? Next one is going from institute to the home. Again, half an hour to 45 minutes of time wasted. But if it is an online class now, they have to sit in his bedroom. Understand it now? He able to take the class now. If 1 hour class is going on there, next to 5 to 10 minutes of break he able to take, he can play with his children's. Again, he will come to the bedroom, he will start the class now. Again, 1 hour of time, again 10 minutes break, he'll play with. That means he's taking the classes, he's doing the work. At the same time, he's spending time with his family. Then for online trainers, this is the biggest advantage nowadays. Understand it? The pandemic situation is giving that entire, is collapsing that entire market. But trainers' point of view, this is an advantage what people are getting there. The situation, exact situation at present, I'm telling them. Of course, software companies are also be taking advantage of it. If you go to the company, your working hours may be 8 hours. But if you're at work from home, companies are giving assignments to you up to 13 hours of time. You're not recognizing it. If it is work from home, you're working for the company more time. Sir, got or not? Of course, they'll specify officially 8 hours is the working hours. But when it comes to the work implementation, they'll give the tasks to you. They will take nearly 13 hours per day to complete the task. So you have to work for it. So companies are having very good. Moreover, infrastructure cost is reduced. Infrastructure cost is reduced. No need to maintain even you are not aware about it. In some companies there, 5 lakh, 6 lakh is a current bill per month in some companies. But if it is working from home, so companies are taking advantage of it. But now companies are realized that everybody must come for the offices. Now gradually this mode is started. Now all companies, almost all the companies are in same track. Then they are calling every employee of their company come for offices there. That they want to do some parameter. That means they want to do some operations. But why the problem now? The problem is what the reachability. If you're in a physical meeting, if you're in like what the live meeting, offline meeting, no, then the content reachability is more. If you're in online call, then how much we are going to share the content? Definitely, there also be problems are available, right? Okay, just example I'm telling there. It's not. It's not the meaning of. It's not the meaning of my defaming that online classes. No, there also be some advantages are available. Right, sir. Now, if one thing exists in more than one form, then it is called polymorphism. Observe carefully. There are two types of polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphisms. What are the two types of polymorphisms? No, static polymorphism, and the second one is what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Static polymorphism, and the second one is what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Here we have to observe this clearly. Static polymorphism. What is the meaning of this static polymorphism? What you are understanding there? Everybody understand this point here, static polymorphism. If the polymorphism, all of you observe carefully, if the polymorphism is exhibited, if the polymorphism is exhibited at a compilation time, then that polymorphism is called static polymorphism. If the polymorphism is exhibited at a compilation time, then the polymorphism is what there? Static polymorphism. Examples I'm telling to you. Overloading. Overloading is an example for what there? Static polymorphism. Similarly, dynamic polymorphism is available. What is the meaning of this dynamic polymorphism? Now tell me, as per your awareness now, if the polymorphism is exhibited at what time? That's perfect. At what time there? At runtime. Then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. All right. Example for dynamic polymorphism is what there? Overriding. Overloading is an example for static polymorphism. Overriding is an example for what there? Dynamic polymorphism. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? It's okay, fine. Now let's understand the punch here. Another one here. What is overloading? Here we require. There are two types of overloadings in general. Two types of overloadings. What are the two types of overloadings now? First one is method overloading. Second one is operator overloading. First one is what there? Method overloading, and second one is what there? Operator overloading. What is this method overloading? What's your understanding about this method overloading? What is method overloading? If we declare more than one method with the same name and with the different parameter list. If we declare more than one method with the same name and with the different parameter list, then it is called method overloading. Of course, Java doesn't have any problem to implement method overloading. Java allows method overloading. See this example here I'm telling there, observe carefully. Example, if you understand it now, class A, for example, I've taken. Inside this class A, void add method into I comma into j. some implementation you have provided. That implementation is not required, just we can provide this. Next one is like for there void add method name is same, but this time float f1 comma float f2, that we provided, it's okay. Similarly void add of string str1 comma string str1 comma string str2. Okay, now get what we are providing there, there we can identify some implementation. Now tell me how many methods I declared here. Three methods I declared. In all three methods, what is the name there? Add. That means add is a name, single name. But how many forms are available? This is one form, this is another form, this is what there, another form. Performing addition operation over two integer values, addition on two float values, addition on what there, two string values. But single name, multiple forms are available. This is exactly the meaning of like what there, method overloading. Similarly, what is an operator overloading? What is an operator overloading? Observe carefully. All right, so now if we declare an operator, operator is single name, single operator with more than one operation. If we declare a single operator with more than one operation, then it is called operator overloading. Then it is called operator overloading, and this called is what there, operator overloading. And the operator is called overloaded operator, and the operator is called as what there, overloaded operator. Example I'm telling to you, try to understand it clearly. Simple example. Int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20, int c is equal to a plus b semicolon. System dot out dot println. System dot out dot println of c. System dot out dot println is to display data on the command prompt on the console. For that purpose, we are using what there, system dot out dot println. This is one thing. Next one is after this, after completion of this, string str1 is equal to abc, string str2 is equal to def. Now string str3 is equal to str1 plus str2. Clear? Now see this one, system dot out dot println of str3. See this one here, plus is for arithmetic addition, am I right or not? Plus is for what there, arithmetic addition. What is that output here we are getting there? 10 plus 20. What is the value here? 30 is an output. But understand it, here plus is for what there? String concatenation. Here plus is for what there? String concatenation. Here what is that output here we are getting there? ABC, DEF. What is that output here we are getting there? No, ABC, DEF. All of you observe carefully. Here the point is like what there? What is the point here I'm telling there? Into c is equal to a plus b. Plus is an operator. This plus will be used for two operations. What are the two operations? No, first one is what there? Arithmetic addition. Second one is what there? String concatenation. But single operator performing multiple operations. No, this is the best example for what there? Operator overloading. This is the best example for what there? Operator overloading. It's okay, fine. Next one is after that, after understanding this operator overloading, this point here, another point here I'm telling you, try to understand it clearly. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Operator overloading is not possible in Java. Why? Because giving two reasons. Now try to understand it clearly. Operator overloading is a very rarely used feature in the application development. So Java doesn't have any concentration over the rarely used features. Almost all dead in the application development. outdated topic. Strictly speaking, outdated topic. Still, that is available with outdated programming languages. But Java doesn't have any concentration on unnecessary concepts now. Right? That is the first reason here. Operator overloading. Operator overloading is what? Operator overloading is a rarely used feature. Rarely used feature in the application development. That is point number one. Next one is, if we declare more number of operators with more functionalities, more operations, then is a confusion for us to trace which operator is for which functionality. Understand it here? One operator, two functionalities, okay. Two operators, overall four operations are okay. 10 operators, each operator is for 10 functionalities in the sense. Understand it clearly? That definitely confusion will be increased. All right. It is a confusion oriented feature when we declare more operators with more functionalities, more operations. When we declare more operators with more operations, it's a confusion feature. Because of this reason also, Java doesn't have any concentration over the operator overloading. So Java does not allow this operator overloading content. But one point I'm telling to you, after understanding these points there, you may ask one question to me. Sir, we have shown one program for operator overloading. Is that code is not possible in Java? Is it not possible to execute in Java? Yes, it is possible to execute in Java. But how can you say operator overloading is not possible in Java? How can you conclude that operator overloading is not available in Java once this code is possible? Right. For that, I'm giving some clarity. Try to understand it clearly. Java made some of the operators. Java made some of the operators like plus comma, star comma, percentage comma, and so on as overloaded operators internally as per the Java internal requirement. All right, understand the point what I'm telling you? Java made some of the operators plus a star and so on as overloaded operators internally with the fixed functionalities, fixed operations or fixed functionalities as per the Java internal requirement. As per the Java internal requirement, Java made some of the operators as what? Overloaded operators with the fixed functionalities. But Java has not provided any environment. Java has not provided any environment to define operator overloading explicitly at a developer's level. Understand my point here? What I said to you? But Java has not provided any environment to define operator overloading explicitly at a developer's level. If developer wants to perform any operator overloading explicitly, not possible. But how much operator overloading is required by Java internally, that it has defined already. The Java, sorry, the Java has defined already. How much operator overloading it required internally, that Java has already defined. But explicitly Java does not allow us to perform operator overloading explicitly. So as part of it, this operator overloading plus operator is what there predefined operator, predefined overloaded operator. So its operator overloading is possible in Java. Why? Because its operator overloading was defined by Java, so it is possible. But explicitly, I want to define my own operator overloading, then Java does not allow our own operator overloading. For example, plus is a symbol. As of now, arithmetic addition, string concatenation. But I want to define a subtraction operation for plus. I want to define subtraction operation for plus. That is my explicit. But Java does not allow these explicit operations. Java allows only implicit operator overloading, but Java does not allow explicit operator overloading. This is another point here we have to understand clearly. All right, sir. Now this is about like what the operator overloading topic, what we understood clearly. All right, sir. Then last one point is remaining here. Only one point is remaining here. That is the last one is like what then? Observe carefully. In C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory, characters will take 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. This is the difference here we have to identify. Now observe carefully. In C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory and characters will take 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. This is the point here we have to understand. Now point number 1, observe carefully. If you want to answer for this, first you have to understand this point here, fundamental point now. Listen carefully. In a C and C++ applications, memory allocation for the primitive data type. In C and C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not fixed. It is variable, and it is dependent on the operating system. It is dependent on the operating system which we used. It is dependent on the operating system which we used for the application. What operating system we have used there? On the basis of that operating system only, memory allocation will be provided for the primitive data in the case of C and C++. In this way also we can conclude that C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming language. In this case also we can conclude that C and C++ are what? Their platform dependent programming language. But now coming to the Java. In the case of Java, memory allocation for the primitive data types. Memory allocation for the primitive data types is fixed. Irrespective of the operating system which we used. In case of Java, memory allocation for the primitive data types is fixed, irrespective of the operating system which we used. In this way also we can conclude that Java is a platform independent programming language. But what are the fixed memory allocations in the case of Java? If you observe this, byte will take 1 byte, short will take 2 bytes, int will take 4 bytes. Next one is long will take 8 bytes. Long will take 8 bytes. Next one is float will take 4 bytes. Double will take 8 bytes. Character will take 2 bytes. Boolean will take 1 bit, not byte. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Okay, here these are the memory allocations for the primitive data types in the case of Java. Byte 1 byte, short 2 bytes, into 4 bytes, long 8 bytes, float 4 bytes, double 8 bytes, char 2 bytes, and boolean 1 bit. Clear? All right, sir. Then apart from this, after that, what next one here we are understanding there after completion of this? All right, after understanding this point here, all of you observe carefully. But immediately we are getting a question. What's the question here? In C and C++ applications, 1 byte of memory is sufficient for the characters. Okay, In C and C++, 1 byte of memory is sufficient for the characters. Then what is the requirement? Then what is the requirement of Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? I got this question now. In C and C++, characters, that means 1 byte of memory is sufficient to store characters. But what is the requirement of Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? That's the question here. Answer is very simple. Try to understand it clearly. All of you observe carefully. In C and C++, all characters are represented in the form of ASCII values. In C and C++, all characters are represented in the form of what their ASCII values. Where to store any ASCII value, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. To store any ASCII value, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. But in Java, the case is different. In the case of Java, the case is different. In Java, all the characters are represented in the form of Unicode values. In Java, all the characters are represented in the form of what their Unicode values. To store any Unicode value, 2 bytes of memory is required. Because of this reason, Java is able to provide 2 bytes of memory for characters, whereas in C, C++, 1 byte of memory is sufficient for what their characters. In C and C++, ASCII values. In the case of Java, Unicode values. To store ASCII value, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. But to store Unicode value, 2 bytes of memory here we require. Then immediately we got a question. One more question here we are getting. What is that question here? All of you observe carefully. All right, sir. What is Unicode and what is its requirement? What is its requirement in Java? Right. This is another question where answer is very clear. Now try to understand it clearly. Unicode is one of the character representation. We are having ASCII. ASCII is one character representation. Unicode is one character representation. UTF, another character representation. UTF-8, UTF-16, like so many character representations are available. So Unicode is one of the character representation. Okay, what is its specialty? It is able to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages like English, Hindi, Italian, Japanese, Chinese, and so on and so on and so on. All right, sir. It is able to represent all alphabet from all the natural languages. Understand the point? What I'm telling there, and so on. Okay. What is the advantage of it? We are representing all the alphabet from all the natural languages. So what advantage we are able to get? And it is able to provide very good internationalization service. It is able to provide what service there? No, internationalization service. Then immediately we are getting a question. What is that internationalization service? Right, sir. Understand my point clearly? Preparing Java applications as per the customer's locality, user's locality, as per the customer's local conventions or customer's local conventions, user's local conventions is called internationalization. This process is called as what their internationalization service. The Java is providing very good internationalization service because of its Unicode representations only. Java had the character representation like Unicode representation, Due to this Unicode representations only, Java is able to represent, Java is able to provide very good internationalization service. Sir, all of you are following or not what I'm telling to you? Right, sir? Now these are the like points what I'm telling to you. Best example, already in the demo classes I given that information. If you open the Google, where Google is providing internationalization effectively, see all the different languages are available. Different languages are available. Why these many languages are provided here? No? If we click on Hindi, what we are able to get? That entire page we are getting in what there? In the language. If we click on Marathi, that entire page we are getting in what there? Marathi. If we click on some Kannada, entire page will get in what there? Kannada language. No? Understand it clearly. Why? Why these many languages? No. Google wants to reach their services. Google wants to provide their services at each and every corner of the earth. They're spreading their product. If you go to the some places there people are not aware about English. For example, in India, if you go to the villages, no, how many members can understand English? How many members can use English language? So they're expecting the Google services in their local language. Then Google is providing that services in what their local languages. This is the way of spreading their products throughout the world. So internationalization is useful for us to bring our product to each and every corner of the earth. That's why internationalization service is required nowadays in the application development. That Java is providing very good support, very good internationalization service because of its Unicode representation. That's it, sir. Now this is about like what there, the total information related to that point here, internationalization and its content. Overall, the point is what there, in C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory, characters will take 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. In C and C++ applications, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not fixed. It is available, it is a variable, and it is dependent on the operating systems which we provided, which we use for the applications. In the case of Java, memory allocation for the primitive data types is fixed irrespective of the operating system which we use. Byte, short, int, long, float, double char, boolean. Okay, fixed size here we provided. In C and C++ applications, 1 byte of memory is sufficient for the characters. Then what is the requirement of the Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? Your answer is very clear. In C and C++, all characters are represented in the form of ASCII values. To store any ASCII value, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. But in the case of Java, all characters are represented in the form of what they Unicode values. To store any Unicode value, 2 bytes of memory is required. What is Unicode and what is its requirement in Java? Unicode is one of the character representation. It is able to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages like English, Hindi, Italian, Japanese, Chinese, and so on. And it is able to provide a very good internationalization service. Preparing Java applications as per the customer's local conventions is called what their internationalization. That's it. Now this is the total information related to the differences between Java and others. Almost a 9 number of differences here are given there. Almost all the points here we understood clearly. The next one is what there Java features. The next topic. This Java features topic contains almost half of the features which are already known by us. As per the discussion of the differences between Java and others, we can answer almost half of the features clearly. But remaining half of the features we have to understand clearly, right? The remaining topic, remaining features, or maybe Java features topic, I'll discuss within the next class. When time may not be sufficient for it, no. In the next class, I'm going to discuss that. When we are going to have next class, no. Monday we are going to have next class. But one small information I'm telling there, 90% I'll come to the class on Monday. But I thought of it, there is some other schedule, but the class is doubtful. 90% of the situation we can think of it, by default class is available. In the case, if I'm not going to take the class, that's going to be decided tomorrow. If I'm not going to take the class, tomorrow I will give a message to all of you. Understand? If you are not getting any message there, of course we have a channel, Google Classroom channel is available. There I will send a message, or admin people will send a message to you. In the case if you are not having still any message there, before come to the class, get a confirmation from our office. Already you are having office number, right? Get confirmation from office, then only come to the class. But on Monday, my class is doubtful, still not yet decided. If it is decided, here itself I can decide it. But tomorrow I will decide it max. Okay, but 90% is definitely I'll try to come here. In the worst case, if it is not possible for me to come here, I'll give a message to you. But by getting comfortably, come to the class. Yes, sir. Got it? What I'm telling you, right? Right, sir. That's all for today. Probably we'll meet on Monday. Thank you. Thanks a lot.